Everybody doing good?
Yes, sir.
Sure. How's the food? Well, as you know, these lunch and learns are a great tradition at Parker, primarily because it allows you to hopefully experience information, knowledge, people out in the field that allow you to recognize maybe perhaps skill sets, ways of thinking, behaviors that are allowing them to succeed. And that's really the bottom line. You know, when we're in class every single day, we're constantly being reminded that we're learning information that's going to allow us to service our patients better. But this type of information is different because it allows you to understand what it is that, why is it that you're doing what you're doing, and what is truly your potential. Because you see, all of us have different potential, but it's up to us to recognize what potential it is, not somebody else. That's the key thing that I found. What's sad sometimes is that external people sometimes think of your potential higher than the ones you think for yourself. And that's sad, in my opinion, because you should be the one thinking always your potential is higher than anything else. But a couple of months ago, I had an opportunity to speak at the Black Chiropractic Association annual meeting. And before the meeting, where I spoke the next morning, they had a reception the night before, and they had this gentleman speak for 10 minutes. And the reason that we brought him to you is because he is a student of chiropractic. He's a student at Palmer College. Recently, a new baby was born in his household, so congratulations. He has a brand new baby boy. And but most importantly, what I told him, the reason that I wanted him to share with you is because over the last 10 years, I've met very few students that really connected with me in a way of understanding that this man has been through tremendous adversity to be here doing what he's doing. But most importantly, he's recognized his adversity to be his greatest strength. And second of all, he's a study learner of success principles, where he has worked really hard to understand what it is this thing we call success. So he has a resume so large, even as a student, it's extremely impressive. And I can tell you so much of his leadership positions and all the things he's done. But the best thing that I can do to introduce him to you is to say, I know you're going to be excited to hear this man. And please open your mind, please open your hearts, and really understand and try to read between the words what it is that he's all about. Please help me welcome Princely Edwin.
1946, Dr. Gene Parker graduated from Palmer College. 1951, he started at Parker Seminars. And finally, 1982, he started Parker College with 27 students. 27. And look at where we are today. Just look around you. There are more than 27 people in this room alone. It was the winner in this gentleman that I admire. It was that winner attitude. These individuals had something that I still to this day always ask myself, how can I get there? How can you and I get there? We don't have to wait until we become doctors. We can start it now. There's an impact we can impact right now as students. And I found that the answer for me was when I looked at an article. I read an article that Dr. Martin Luther King wrote when he was merely 18 years old in college. The title was The Purpose of Education. And one thing I picked out of it was he said, education, he said intelligence plus character. That's the goal of true education. Think about that. Intelligence plus character. That's the goal of true education. So we can go through all this education. If we don't have character, guess what? We're losing it. No matter how intelligent we are. He said the most dangerous criminal is the man who is gifted with reasoning, but with no morals. We got to think about that. It is that character. So how then do you build that character to become winners, like Dr. Jim Parker? How do you build that character to become these individuals that we are talking about? We're going to look at a few of those. We're going to examine a few of those principles because it's how you determine, it's how you process those principles that's going to determine how well you propel into the future. So I'm looking at some of my guiding principles here. I did go online, of course. I looked at your website. I looked at a few things about Parker, some of the principles. I really enjoyed says to eliminate fear, worry, and anxiety, guess what? I must live in the present. I must let go and let God. Do not let the negative few overrule the positive many. These are some of your principles. It's inevitable that as human beings, we're going to have those individuals that are indeed negative. But that's not what we're talking about. It is the positive ones, because you can make a difference in somebody else's life. They could bring on whatever negative things that they want to bring in. You can have something positive to tell them and counteract that. And that's what we're really going to be digging into. Now, Dr. Fred Barch said a great profession can only... Fred Barch, by the way, Dr. Fred Barch was one of the greatest chiropractic philosophers. He wrote this book, Doctor, Are You the Doctor? It challenges you to go within and ask yourself, Doctor, are you the doctor? Why should I come see you? What makes you different from the guy who's down the street? But he said something about a great profession can only be sustained through the authentic transmission of its principles from generation to generation. And those are some of the principles